Hey, what's going on, working class hustlers? Your main La Machine here. As you can see, I got to go to work here soon, but we can always find a minute to see if we can get to the bag. So, as you can see, the title of this video is 5 reasons your business is not growing. But you know me, I tend to over deliver, so there'll be more than that. Um, hustlers, this is so important. This video is for different types of people. For example, you might be like me. You might be a person who's been selling on Amazon for years and years, and for some reason, you cannot get your business to grow. You just seem to be stuck. If that's you, I know exactly how you feel. It has been very recent since my numbers actually doubled, and now I am consistently doing 30,000 plus a month. I'm having $1,000 plus days, and so on and so forth. So, you definitely want to pay attention, take notes. If you found yourself stuck and you're just ready to really double your revenue, this would also be good for the casual viewer who just likes to do research, take in knowledge, understand these principles before you get into the business, and it's going to help you right from the start. This is going to be for the new sellers. These are principles that you definitely want to implement. Hey, what's going on, Jay Face? I appreciate it, man. Love having you out here. Shout out to all my truckers. You guys know I love you. Timmy, my main man. So yeah, this is going to be important, guys. So make sure you pay attention. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. The reasons why your business is not growing. Now, these reasons are not in any particular order, but I did sort of group them from the ground level and then on out. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So, number one, this is very important. You keep starting and stopping your business. You cannot gain momentum when you constantly start and stop. You need to make the decision, you need to make the commitment, and you need to see it through. This is not a hustle, guys. Please understand this. If you want to hustle, go to eBay. If you want to hustle, go to Marketplace. If you want to hustle, go out of the trunk of your car, go to flea markets, yard sales. That way you can take a chunk of money, put it in something, flip it, game over until you start again. This is a running business. This is a serious business. Okay. Jay Face just got his Seller Central account approved. All right. You ready. You've already been studying. You're going to see where you're already ahead of the game here as we move on. But guys, you got to quit starting and stopping. Now we move on to the next reason, and it ties right in. You're chasing shiny objects, and as a result, you're getting distracted. Guys, there are so many ways. You are so fortunate to be alive right now as a potential business owner or a current business owner. You are so blessed because we're in an age where there are so many ways for you to get to the bag. There are just so many ways for you to make money. And everybody out there is trying to bombard you with different ways. They all work if you work, but you can't do them all, at least not until you get one going good and then get into another. I do multiple businesses. You know, you're going to hear a lot of experts talking about multiple income streams, and this is true. But you have to think about the order of operation. You have to think about if you're trying to launch multiple businesses at the same time, it's going to be difficult because your bandwidth is all over the place. You know, but what's even worse, I would rather see you try to launch multiple businesses, even though it's gonna slow you down. I would rather see you do that than to see you do what most people do. What most people do when it comes to chasing shiny objects, they get started on one thing, they do their research, they get excited, they get everybody that they can get to listen while they talk about their dreams, and then I'm just like you. We're constantly scrolling. We're constantly consuming information, and we like information on how to get ahead, how to make money, and there are so many offers. There's so many different ways, and so then we'll stop what we're currently doing before we can even get it off the ground, and then we start something else. Imagine if somebody was talking to you about gardening and there was this certain plant that you could grow, and you did your research, you got started, you planted it, you started weeding and feeding and everything, and then somebody said, wait, well, there's another plant you can start. So you dig up the one that you got and you do all the research and everything that it takes for this other plant, because it takes different things. Now you're on that, and what ends up happening is time keeps rolling and you never get anything going. You never stick with something long enough to see it through because you're constantly getting distracted. And here's another principle, thing that you want to be mindful of. It's very important. And again, this ties in, guys. So please pay attention because we're getting to it today. We're talking about it. You don't have any patience. See, remember when I was telling you about how lucky you are to be in this information age, and there's so many ways to get to the bag, and there are so many people like me and other influencers that are trying to convince you, trying to encourage you, trying to help you, and we keep telling you how great it is. See, a lot of us don't tell you how long it's going to take because we're afraid that you're not going to listen if we tell you that you have to invest 5 years. We scared you're not going to buy our course if we tell you you need to have a 10-year plan. See what I'm saying? So guess what? You get to hear a lot of cap from people that are doing these Instagram reels and all of this other stuff. And they keep talking about how quick you can get to the bag. And that is a flat out lie. Okay. You have got to develop the patience. You're going to be here anyway. You plan on living, you're going to be here. That means you're going to arrive. The question is where? The answer is, what are you willing to do right now? What are you willing to stick to right now? If you don't have any patience, you're never going to make it. Now, the people that are in here on this live right now, you already got it. The average person, I've showed my numbers. On this channel, I have shown how many people really watch. And I can't get people to watch my videos past 4 minutes when I'm giving away the game. I give of my most precious asset, which is my time. And I can't get people to watch, in most cases, more than 4 minutes. That's great because I'm going to come out here anyway. That's my mission. But for anyone who might be, coming by, if you made it this far, because I already been on for 9 minutes. If you made it this far, I'm not talking about you. But one of the reasons that people are not getting to the bag is they don't have the patience. So please, guys, make sure you keep that patience. If you're in the game, you're out here with me right now, you're already proven you're committed. But when things get tough, don't give up. And stick with me. We're going to go to the next principle I want to talk about. And it ties in. When you do this business, you have got to be constantly sourcing. That means you're constantly looking for products. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. If you're thinking that you're going to do this business and your goal is to get to the day where you no longer have to do any work, everything's easy, you can set it and forget it. don't do it. Don't do this. Don't do any other business. Go work for somebody who can do it. See, when we go out and get a job, you know who we're working for? We're working for the people who do have the patience. We're working for the people who don't chase the shiny objects. Okay. We're working for the people who don't start and stop. We want a paycheck on a regular basis. And the only businesses that we're going to be able to do that with are the ones who are constantly looking for the next thing. In your case, as an Amazon seller, you're looking for the next product. Here's the reasons why. Number one is obvious. You cannot grow if you're not constantly adding new inventory. That takes research. That takes time. Every single day, I am looking at inventory, potential products. That's why I use tactical arbitrage. It's always searching. That's why I'm always just out there. That's the reason my mind is trained, and yours is probably too. But continue to train your mind to always be ready to take on new products. So number one, the reason you have to constantly be sourcing is because you can't grow if you're not constantly sourcing. Number two, you have to understand, guys, people aren't going to tell you. You're not going to like it, and that's just tough. The products that are working for you today will eventually go away for whatever reason. You'll get kicked off of the listing. The listing will tank. Other people will watch what you're doing. They're reverse searching your store. They're jumping on, they're tanking the price. The product will be discontinued. The product will go out of stock everywhere. There's all sorts of reasons why the products that you're selling today will not work tomorrow. So you have to make sure that you are constantly sourcing. Now, here's the next principle, and it ties right in. You have got to be keeping stock. Once you find a product, listen to me, because I'm about to start hollering. I'm about to go on one of my famous rants. Once you got a product that's working, you cannot afford to be out of stock on that product 1 second. The internet and the shopper experience boils down to seconds. When that customer is ready to buy the product that you're selling, you either have it at that second or you do not. You cannot get that time back. That was the window where he was shopping, he or she was shopping. That is when they're going to buy it. You either got it or you don't. Don't worry about you didn't have it. Don't worry about who had it. Don't worry about if they left the platform and found it someplace else. Don't worry about if they got distracted and never bought it at all. You missed the opportunity and you can never, ever get it back. When you start taking that to heart, you know what you're going to do? You're going to start making sure you stay on top of your inventory. That means you're constantly on your phone in the app, making sure that your inventory levels are showing that you got the stock. That means that you're constantly buying and making sure you have more inventory. That means you're thinking like a manager of a business and not a hustler. A manager is forecasting, predicting, making deals, looking ahead, thinking ahead, and acting accordingly. Okay? So you got to keep your stock. I cannot emphasize that enough. Here's a good one, guys. Get ready. Get ready. This is going to affect a lot of people out here. You're not aggressive enough. What do I mean by aggressive? Amazon, for you to survive, you have got to be willing. You got to be able to get in the trenches and compete. That's part of the work. That is part of the nature of a free market society. I don't care if you're making your own products. I don't care if you're like me and you're a reseller. Other people are going to be doing it too. You got a good product, other people are going to make one just like yours or similar. They're going to take your idea, hijack it, and they're going to make money as best they can. That's not a bad thing, guys. We run around trying to control the buy box, trying to get on products where there's not a lot of competition. Competition is your sign that the market wants the product. When I started getting aggressive, that means taking less of a profit. That means taking a lower return on investment. But I would rather get the volume and get the business, because the volume and the business leads to other things. See, when you're sitting around waiting on the best profit that you can make, you got the patience of Job. You have the patience of a saint. Guess what? That's great, but nothing is selling. See, when you're moving inventory, when your sales are happening, there's a whole lot of things that are going to open up for you. For example, I talk a lot about, hold on one second. My laptop almost went out on me. My plug came out. I do a good amount of wholesale, and the volume is what makes my wholesaler, my manufacturers, that's what makes their ears stand up, and they go, okay, this guy is worth working with. This guy is worth giving 30-day terms. This guy is worth, hey, you know what? We got some products sitting back here that's sitting here. Nobody else wants it. We can give it to him. He's already doing a lot of business with us. Let's just give it to him at cost. We're going to blow it. We were going to throw it away anyway. Let's help him because he's always there helping us. I'm just giving you real life stories. This happens to me all the time. Okay, you've got to get aggressive. Quit being greedy, and quit treating this like a hustle. Start treating it like a business. You've got to be moving inventory. Sometimes you got to take your break evens. Sometimes you got to take your losses. This is a business. A business, guys, making money is like a game. It really is. I always talk about baseball. You don't have to knock it out of the park every time you get up to bat. Sometimes you're going to strike out and you can still win the pennant. Successful business is not the business that always makes a profit, that never takes a loss. Successful businesses are the ones that take more wins than losses. You're going to fail your way to success. All right, guys, next point. This is important, so I'm going to need you to think. I try, when it comes to teaching, I liken myself to like a kindergarten teacher, or, your elementary school. That is my group. If I was really a teacher, I probably wouldn't want middle school or high school, because they know everything. But in this case, I'm going to need you to start acting like the high schooler, the college. You got to take advantage of your geographic area. What do I mean by that? You guys know I sell snack foods, but I have an advantage because I'm in South Central Pennsylvania, which is the snack food capital of the United States. That gives me an advantage that you might not have. Well, what's your advantage? You want me to spoon feed it to you? Listen, you got to start thinking, and you got to start understanding where you are. Maybe you're in the Detroit area. Well, they do a lot of car manufacturing. And then there are a lot of other businesses that are attached to the manufacturing. Maybe you want to start getting into auto parts because of your proximity to where auto parts are being manufactured. Maybe you have a Trader Joe's in your area, or an Aldi's. Do you know what happens when people get hooked on Trader Joe's, but there's no Trader Joe's in their area? When they get hooked on Aldi's, but there's no Aldi's in their area, you know what happens then? Now you got an advantage, because there's a certain percentile, a certain percentage of America that wants Trader Joe's and can't get to a Trader Joe's. They will pay what they need to pay to have those products. Here's the question, and this is just an example, hustlers. Do you have a Trader Joe's near you? Question number 2, if you have a Trader Joe's near you, are you taking advantage of what you have based on your geographic area? If not, you gotta get on the stick, guys. We're chasing people around. We're trying to do whatever they do, and we're not looking at the diamonds and the gold that's right in our backyards. Okay? I can't tell you what your city or your state has a lock on. You got to know that. And you got to start thinking, because we're small business owners. We have to take advantage That's where our power, that's where our leverage is. You follow? Um, Look at the products that you've sold in the past. I've had to go back, listen to me, because some of you who are watching this video or who will watch this video, you've been doing this long enough and you have forgotten more than a lot of new people know. You have forgotten about the products that you used to sell in the past. Now, for those of you who tend to just delete items out of your inventory once you no longer carry them, this might be a little more difficult. You might have to go do some, some research, run some reports so that you can see the products that you used to sell. You figure it out. Go back, because the crowd, most people, most business owners are just like regular people. They're just like sheep, and they do what the other businesses are doing, and they follow the herd. Okay. And they forget. They move on to other products after they're done tanking it so that nobody can make a profit. They move on. That's your chance to move those products. Go back through your old inventory. There are gems in there. Another thing, this is important, guys, and this will be my final point. You have no mentor, you have no community. Imagine if you wanted to learn to play an instrument. And what if you had a community? What if you had other musicians that you could hang around? You're going to learn each and everything that they know. That it's a wealth of knowledge. You're going to know things that you didn't even know that you didn't know. And that's one of the biggest challenges we have. We don't know what we don't know. So we don't even know we don't know it. That's even worse. Okay. If you don't know, but you know that you don't know, then you know what you need to learn. So, guys, you got to you don't have to do it. You can do it the hard way. But if you have a mentor, if you have a community, it is literally going to catapult your business, and it's going to hold you accountable, because every week or however often your community is meeting, my private group meets every Sunday. If you're interested in that, text me. We can get you in. But we're constantly talking about what we're doing. You're not going to let your buddy that's in your group outdo you. And it's not necessarily on some, one-upmanship or trying to keep up with the Joneses. It has more to do with the encouragement that you get from other people that are doing what you want to do. I'm going to give you one more analogy before I have to go, because I got to go to work. You probably cannot remember when you learned how to walk, but here's what I can tell you. As that little toddler, you knew that it could be done. You didn't question it. And when you fell, you just got up, because you were surrounded by people that were doing it. Right? They didn't make a big fanfare out of it. There was no course that you had to take. There was, there was no seminar, webinar. You just did it. But you were surrounded by other people that were doing it, and they were encouraging you. People who care about you. They like to see you learn. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, they enjoyed watching you learn to walk, and you would see them encouraging you, and you would get excited, and they would get excited. Well, the same thing happens in these communities. At least it does in mine. We love having that new person that we could just pour into and make them the center of the conversation. We want to help. Get in a community, guys. It is so amazing. Hey, what's going on, Trey? Glad you showed up, man. I'm going to have to get going, because, as you guys know, I got to get to work. But I'll be out here tomorrow. I want to see, actually, for tomorrow, I want to see if we could do some sourcing together. I got one of these weird schedules. Tomorrow, I'm not working my regular job. So then that gives me more time to, to work with you guys. Let's see if we can get to the bag. That's going to be key. The community is about $1 a day, $30 a month. Let me know, Trey. You got my number. We talk. So you let me know if you need to get in. I got to get you a link to that and open you a spot. But we'd love to have you, man. So just get at me, and we'll, if you got any questions, it's no problem. But yeah, guys, I hope that you all got some inspiration from this. Do yourself a favor, rewatch this video. I'm gonna actually have Jim produce it as a more edited version of this because it's worth repeating. It's worth actually producing a video about this. We got a lot of people, guys. Let's just go over these. Let's go over these again. These points just to make sure we let it sink in before we wrap. You got to keep on the path. You cannot keep starting and stopping with your business. You got to get in, stay there, make the commitment, make the promise to yourself, and stay the course. Starting and stopping is literally strangling your business because you can't even get off the ground. Imagine an airplane that would go down the runway, and then just before it takes off, they let off the thrust. Then they start again, and just as they're about to get lift under the wings, they let off the thrust. Come on, how you gonna get going? You're chasing shiny objects. If this is what you're gonna do, and this is the mentor that's gonna help you, and this is the path, stay here. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel for the algorithm. Give a like and share this. Don't get distracted. There's all sorts of people trying to distract you. It is their job. It is their mission to distract you. Okay? This is what you're doing. You're doing Amazon. Stay there. You got no patience. I hate to tell you guys. If you want success, you're going to have some patience. It's not going to happen overnight. And I don't care how many lies these gurus tell you because they want to sell you a $3,000 course. It's going to take time. And if you can't think, if you're not mature enough, if you don't have the wherewithal, if you don't have the patience to look 5 years, at least 5 years into the future, forget it. Go get a job. And you can go work for somebody who does have the vision, the patience, and can see 10 years down the road. But then don't complain. You're not constantly sourcing. You've got to constantly. Your inventory is the lifeblood of your business. This is what you're doing. Are you kidding me? You got to be sourcing. It never stops. Every single day. You should be mad if a day goes by and you didn't find one product. Are you kidding me? You couldn't find one thing. You didn't do no research on nothing. You don't get no breaks. You get what you deserve. Okay? Life don't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve. And if you're not willing to constantly be sourcing, you don't deserve to double your revenue. You don't deserve the success. You're not keeping stock. You find these products, you get excited. It is your job to make sure you never, ever run out of stock if you can help it. You can't get the time back. When the customer was there, when they were ready at that very second, that was when you needed to at least have the product ready. You'll never get that time back. When I started making sure I stayed on top of my inventory, it changed everything. That is one of the most important points I could share with you. You're not aggressive enough. Quit being greedy. Quit being greedy. You're not going to get these huge returns. If you're okay just getting what you can get when you can get it because you're not willing to bend, you're not willing to adjust, you're not willing to take a little bit of a loss or a lot, okay, that's fine. But we're talking about you doubling your revenue. We're talking about the more sales you're getting, how that affects your entire business. It's going to affect you in ways that you worried about the extra $1 or $5 or $10 that you didn't make. Bro, you could be doubling the entire amount of revenue that you're doing. You're not taking advantage of your geographical area. You live in a certain area and you have access to certain things that other people don't have access to. I can't tell you what it is, guys. Rewatch the video so you can get into exactly what I was saying. Okay. You need a community. You need a mentor. You got the community right here if you would subscribe to the channel. You got a mentor right here if you would text the words working class hustler. Where is it? Let's put it up there. If you would text the words working class hustler to the number on your screen, you got somebody that you could run all of your ideas by. I don't charge for that. You want the community, you really want to invest in yourself and really get around a private group of people that are working together because you feel that your business is worth that. You feel that your effort is worth that. You feel that if you're going to put any amount of your life into it, you want to give yourself the best possible chance and you want the advantage of a whole group of people's knowledge and experience. If you want that, text me. We'll get you in $1 a day. But you got to do something. All right. Karen said, truth, consistency is key. Trey Brown said, do you use the same printer for FBA and FBM? I do. I really don't do FBA right now. And when I do get back into it, it'll probably be on Walmart. I just don't like the process with Amazon right now. But yes, I use them for both. You can use okay, got you. All right, guys, I got to go to work. Love you all. Be ready tomorrow. Let's get together. Let's get to the bag. Let's get ready to roll our sleeves up and do the work. You guys took the poll. Thank you so much. If you haven't, contribute. There's a poll out there asking what you want. The vast majority of you said you want to get together and you want to source together. So let's do it tomorrow. I see you guys then. Love you all. Later.